Yo, wagwan, Tish your boy, Jidon, Legendary. We on some Black Desert. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. We about to showcase some houses, my good people. As y'all know, finally on Warcraft we have housing. But there was a place where I was building houses before Warcraft, and that was here in Black Desert. Now I will say this, I have 4 Black Desert accounts total. I'm only showing the houses on this account because I know for a fact the houses on my other 3 accounts more than likely aren't that decadent, number 1. And number 2, I have not logged into those other accounts in well over a year. So I have absolutely no idea where those houses are in the first place. And I'm dang sure enough not about to update that version of Black Desert, which I would be sitting here for like the next 3 hours. So we're just showcasing on the main account, the account I play on every day, versus some side account. And I'll also be hopping on each character who owns the house because I used to assign my houses to specific characters. With that being said, let's look at some houses. Starting off with house number 1, the first house I ever bought, as y'all know, or if you don't know, this is the first character I've ever made. This is a Yane here, little Korean lady, Miss Thekums here. And the first house I ever purchased on this lady was Nanfo Heidel. Technically that's not true. I'll show you that, her true first house, but we'll get to that. This house right here is not bad for having been my first ever crib purchased. Now at the time I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing, okay? And the first outfit I ever bought this character, I happened to have some extra pearls left, so I had bought the floor, the carpet, and the wall with that extra pearls and some of the furniture you'll see when we get her upstairs. You know what I mean? Got the storage container, look at your bank anywhere on the go, you know what I mean? I need to clean my bank. Little eating spot, of course. Some wines, you know what I mean? Gotta have some wines, little flower pot. Be at the door, not there, but like I said at the time, I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. The houses I was building was on the Sims every now and then in Fallout 4 and Fortnite, but those were more for the presence of the map than the actual houses. You know what I mean? Cool little trophy weapon off of a boss. Little keg, which I'm not sure why it's down there and not on the table, but like I said, I was new. You know what I mean? A little charcuterie board type junk, some fruits, some drinks. This is old world furniture, so naturally it's gotta look clean but OG at the same time. Stove. I mean, you can sit here and cook at the stove if you need be. More little stuffs on the wall. Got a little evil stuffed wolf head because those wolves are vicious little dudes and they will attack and kill whatever. It's the guest bedroom down here. Okay. And then you come on upstairs and this is where it gets real extra fancy because this is where, matter of fact, let me show you the first outfit I had ever bought and you'll see why I had bought it. That is this joint right here. Okay, and her undergarment, she actually happens to be wearing it already. This was the first outfit I had ever bought on the game for obvious reasons. Okay, and at the time I had some bonus shmoney left, so I was like, let me take this bonus money here. And I don't remember what glove she was wearing. Oh yeah. And I'm like, let me take this bonus money and may as well buy like some carpets and floorings and stuff. So let me show you the main bedroom. Okay, same little wooden bench, little reading table. Gotta be, you know what I mean, gotta keep your knowledge up. That thing's eyes are glowing. That is definitely new. Those eyes did not glow back in the day. Fancy bed. Now the set I had bought. Oh shoot, I just made some money during a recording. Let me get that. Now this had a full set to it. Like I said, I had extra pearls from buying that outfit. So I didn't have enough to actually purchase everything. So I had grabbed the bed. And as you will see, boom. The main room. I bought the bed, another bench, this table, that chair, and that dresser. There was some extra stuff with it, but I was just buying it off of extra pearls. Cool little fireplace. It's kind of a back and forth fireplace. It glows with the effect of frost, clearly covered in snow and ice. But it's a fireplace. So It's a little backwards, but it looks good. That's what matters the most. Lots of books here, because you got to read, you know what I mean? Got to keep your knowledge good. You feel me? This was the first house I ever purchased or designed. Let me show you the true first house I ever purchased on Earth. The first house I ever bought truly, you know what I mean, on Xbox, and when I quickly switched over to PC because I saw how incredible the character customization was, is this little janky crap right here, okay? This is house, I can't zoom out, house 8-3. I'm gonna go to a friend and go to empty. This was the true first house I ever purchased on this character, and you know what she had in here? A dang bed and a fucking ceiling chandelier / lamp. That's it. She ain't had crap else. And then over time, I bought a little bit of extra stuff and I put some stuff in the basement. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, I was like, okay, this house is little and it's rough, as you can see. So the problem is with this house is you try to put anything on the floor or on the walls, it won't look right because of how rough it is down here, but it'll look amazing up here. I'm like, the basement idea is cool, but it's too dang small. In the long run, I knew for a fact I was gonna be playing this game for a long time. Fast forward 5 years later, here the fuck we are with her and her little bat Christmas outfit. With that being said, let's move on to the next character in house. Next character up, we got Miss Tati Garza here. So Miss Garza here is of the Spanish / Latina, okay, Mexican specifically. So I needed a crib that would match her nicely. It needed to be elegant. It needed to be real strong Mexico look. You feel what I'm saying? So then I bought this house, which I found out was the second biggest house here in Heidel, which is right next door to the first biggest. And then I made it look like, boom. It's fancy as fuck in here, dude. I ain't been in this house in a hot minute, man. And it's still just as nice as I remember it being, okay? The pink pastel walls with the wooded / golded / pastel pink floors. Then we got the elegant fucking furniture with the black and golds. Look at all the coffee mixes and the flavors and the syrups and the maples and stuff. You know what I mean? Cast iron pans, because what else would you cook on? You know what I mean? Non-stick is cool and all, but cast iron is the greatest thing ever. Little alchemy spot, although I'm not sure why our rancher would need an alchemy bench, but you know, it is what it is. Little fountain. Now this house is much more decorated than my first house, because if you are good at being lucrative in this game, there's a lot of free furniture you could get your hands on. That's what this is. This is the result of a crap ton of free furniture being properly used, being held on to for a month or two, and then being used once you know, you have a efficient amount to make a good looking home. Some waffles, little chocolate chip cookies, because those are my favorite, you know what I mean? Little cheesecake right there with the strawberries. That crust is fat as fuck, man. I'd tear that crust apart in real life. Give me a piece of graham cracker crust that thick, I'd tear that joint apart. But I mean, we got the upstairs looking just as fancy. This crazy looking bed that you would definitely wake up with a busted back on. Pause? I don't know. I think that was kind of a pause. I don't know. You know what I mean? Real fancy furniture up in this house right here, man. Got the little book reading spot. Also a little mirror too, if you just gotta look at yourself, I guess. A lot of pictures up on the wall. Little fancy seat here. Bookshelf. Little TV, because you gotta have something to watch every now and then. You know what I mean? Whether it be YouTube or actual TV. I watch YouTube, you know what I mean? I haven't watched actual TV in forever. And then the little sitting spot where you could watch this man on his little boating journey, you can see. On an everlasting boating journey, because he's been there for about 2-3 years now. That would be, oh, the lag. That would be pretty cool in real life, though. I ain't gonna lie, I have a little joint like that. And boom, there you go. Oh, didn't even show you the chandelier. The golden chandelier. Look at that. Beautiful. With that being said, let's move on to our next character, Talani, the giant. Now our next character here, second character I ever created, we got Miss Ward here. Okay, Talani Ward. Now, You probably can't tell because of how close we are. Maybe you can by the sheer size of them arms and them shoulders. Maybe the size of her face. But she is a very large woman, okay? She is taller than a night elf. And for those who don't know, because y'all, I know a lot of y'all is Warcraft players, night elf males are about 6'11". She stands in at a whopping 7'4", okay? I thought it would be funny that we get our tallest, our largest character, the small, well, at the time she wasn't my largest character. I had a big dude, but he looked kind of goofy, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't keep him. I figured it'd be kind of funny to get our largest character, the smallest house. But as you can see, that doesn't mean much because it is quite nice and cozy in here. We're gonna have to be in mostly first person for this because you're a little too big. You know what I mean? The gold and brown with the steering wheel gives her that real deal Norwegian Viking type of, oh, back up away from the door. That real deal Norwegian Viking type of look that I was going for with this character. Hence, that's what she's supposed to be. It's a beautiful little house. Simple as that. Look at the flows. Look at the walls. Everything flows. Everything matches. The walls match the fucking tables. The chairs match the tables. Everything is fancy. Got some delicious food. I mean, pancakes with chocolate pancakes with some kind of red sauce. When I be getting some strawberry, because that'd be a delicious mix, or cherry. Chocolate pancakes with some cherry sauce. Ooh-wee. Might have to make that happen one of these days in real life. But anyways, you know what I mean? Good hearty food for a big woman. Okay, you can't be this big and not have hearty eatings. It's impossible. Feel me? You come upstairs, it's just as cramped, but just as amazing looking. Big bed, this big woman. You know what I mean? Got the reading spot back here. Now you'll notice that on Warcraft, I have a reading area. I do that on pretty much every fucking game. I'm not gonna lie. On Sims, I have a reading area. On Warcraft, I made a reading area. Here, I have multiple reading areas. On Fortnite, even though I don't actually use any of the homes, and it's just for the look of the map, I will still make reading areas in the homes. You got the bigger reading area. This is for like if multiple people are trying to read. Let's say, you know, y'all both smoking. This is a giant ashtray vase. A little bit of pumpkins just to fit her very clearly gothic aesthetic, Norwegian gothic aesthetic. Oh, and the big old Halloween lamp on the top as well. So this was another house that I built quite nicely off of free furniture. A little bit of tapestry, some photos on the wall, because you know, gotta have the photos on the wall. Let me see, where's that at? Where's that at? That is nowhere. Oh no, no. That is somewhere. That is out in the desert. That is... Where the fuck is that? I know that dang spot. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. I've been through there a few times. Is that where Shikadu be at? Oh, that is that. Yep, that's the Shikadu spot. Yeah, I recognize that. I've been out there for a million times. Watch me be wrong as fucking all it really is someone at Black Desert, just Pearl Abyss just simply made some crap that was desertous looking. Alright, on to our next character, Tanya J. Alrighty, so this little dark chocolate lady right here, this is Tanya J. And this was the first house I had bought for this character, because this was another house that was quite large. We have Heidel 7'5". And as you could tell, she's a fairly tall lady herself, so I'm like, you know what, let me make her a nice, big, spacious house, which is, I know, a little backwards. We made the biggest character the least spacious house. I don't know. So this one I did spend a little money on. For the longest, the floors were bare, and so were the walls. And I got sick and tired of it. I'm like, she needs a little bit of swag in her house. Everybody else's house is pretty. I ain't about to have, I'm not about to have the black character with the wackest house, alright? So I had to get her some nice pearly floors and some walls to match. A little reading area right here. A little bit of tea at the top too. Although I'm sure that's more of a memorial type of thing, or a monumental type of thing. A little sword up there too, which actually matches pretty good because these hunters use little daggers, so it actually matches quite nicely. You know what I mean? A little book spot. Okay, a little rocking chair. Okay, you come up into the kitchen. Lots of... oh. Really? Oh, come on, man. Don't do that. I don't know why that's clipping like that. It's not. It is. I was about to say it's not clipping on that side. Yes, it is. Whoops. I'm only just now realizing that. That's probably been like that for the past 4 years now. Anyways, you know what I mean? Little Christmas tree. Kind of a weird Christmas tree. It's more like something you could sit stuff on top of. I guess that was the point. Little doll there. You know what I mean? Another specialty weapon with, of course, the Black Spirit Wraith. Because he is literally the guy. You can literally, he's the face of the dang game. There you go. Well, that's a little man. That's not his full size. But, you know what I mean? Kitchen is nice and decadent. A lot of stuff in here. You feel me? Got some really old eggs. The eggs been there for about 4 years now. Maybe like 3. And then, of course, last year's Thanksgiving from 2021, you come on upstairs and it's all nice and fancy up here too. More pictures on the wall there, little lantern up there. I gotta have the wall light because it was a little dark back there. And then boom, you come up in the room and it's pretty decadent in here too. We got the fucking desert lamp, which is nice and bright. That thing was fairly expensive at the time. Or pictures and stuff, just to make it look real nice and fancy, of course. Because I knew none of my other characters' houses would be quite as decadent as my main character's house. So I had to do a little bit more. But because my main character, of course, she has the most, which you will see down the line. Well, kind of, sort of. Never mind. No, that's not true. And then you come down here and you got a music box. Because they're in Heidel, and as you can see, that is Heidel. Little tiny Heidel. So, you know, music, baby. Nice, decadent bed, and boom. That is Tanya J's house. Real nice and clean, matches her constantly in white and silver gear aesthetic because she is a elf, and elves in this game rock a lot of silver, green, white. On to the next. Next crib up belongs to this character here, Anaya Lee. Okay, this is our Irish Gothic Halloween lady, though she is in her somewhat Christmas outfit right now. And her home is 5'3" here in Heidel. And let me go ahead and show you what that looked like. So obviously for an Irish Gothic lady, okay, she needs a real Halloween, real deal Halloween looking home, as you can see. Is it small? Well, it's just one person, so she don't need it to be that big, right? You know what I mean? You see all the black and white. You see all the yammies. Look at the little rabbit. I actually never realized that that little dude was sitting there. His eyeballs and the roses. It's a real goth type of look. It fits this type of character properly. A character who's normally rocking black, gold, silvers, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It fits her perfectly. Typically, black and silver is her common color. Maybe a little bit of purple sprinkled in every now and then. As a matter of fact, the horns were purple before I changed them white just to fit the Christmas theme here. You know what I'm saying? It's the perfect little Halloween home. Got the fucking bat lanterns, as you can see. You feel me? Look at the silverwares in the dishes. Even those are matching. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Got the bat wings. Got the Gothic shoulders. Real deal shoulder mantelpiece right there. Real swag type item there, as you can see. Of course, gotta have the drink. Not because she's Irish. Maybe. But look, you know what I mean? Cool little crib. As you can see, got the tapestry all over the wall. You know what I mean? The rugged rugs on the comfort spot here. Where people could chill out, read books, you know. And this big crazy looking bookshelf. I mean, it's fancy in here. It's fancy in here. It's the perfect home for a Gothic Irish warlock. Okay? Because that is exactly what she is. A dang warlock. They like to call it sorceress. You know, males are warlocks, women are sorcerers, men are wizards, women are witch. Okay? That's how it go. You got the hat hanging from the ceiling. 2 of them, actually. I kind of forgot I had those there. I ain't been in this crib in a little minute, you know what I mean? These characters is always so, I'm always so busy making money on these fools that they're not always in their homes. Boom, hat there too. And two beautiful bat chandeliers. And you go. A simple, clean house. Okay. Now, the next home, we have to make our way over to Glish. Our next house belongs to this lady right here, okay? Our mystic from the Dominican Republic, okay? She's supposed to be Dominican, man. We up in Glish. Now, you might be wondering, why is her house so far away from everyone else's? That is because I ran out of space. I bought all the good houses in Heidel, and I needed more good houses. The problem is there were none. So I was like, you know what? Glish, I'm always in Glish. At the time, I made a lot of money here in Glish. So, boom, I bought her this fancy little place. Look at the walls. It's very clear that I went with the frosty look for this lady, which I know is a little backwards for someone who's from the Dominican Republic. But just because you're from somewhere doesn't mean you can't love the vibes of winter. You know what I mean? So, boom. Beautiful, cozy little place with the coolest chandelier by far. Alright. By far the coolest chandelier in all of my cribs. Little sleeping area. You know what I mean? This is, back in the day, your boy was, I used to make a lot of money here in Glish. So all of my characters lived in this house. All fucking 40 of them. It's a horrible way to live. But as you can see, a lot of winter aesthetic. These behemoth strawberries. Love strawberries. So tasty, even though they only last like a week. So you gotta hurry up and eat them. You know what I mean? Got all the pictures on the wall. Little dresser, right? Or wardrobe. Well, wardrobe, dresser, pretty much the same dang thing. Just depends on what you want to call it. Bookshelf there behind the joints. You could be sitting there reading books and eating strawberries. Seems like a good combination to me. Stove. We got the cooking spot. Good hot warm soups. Best food for during the winter, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you can chill out right here from the fireplace. I mean, take a seat on the bench, because that is definitely not a couch. And you know what I mean, just be relaxing in front of the heat. And that's it for this cozy little home. You know what I mean? Not too big, not too crazy, but real beautiful. Next house resides in Velia and is owned by one Lynn Okada. Now here on Miss Lynn Okada. Now, her home is also somewhere way away from the rest, and that is simply put because I started making money out here. So initially I bought all the Heidel houses because that's where I was making money. Then I bought the one Glish house, piece of garbage. Then I bought the one Glish house because that's then where I was making money. And now I make the majority of my money here in Velia. So I needed a home here in Velia, and I figured, you know, Lynn Okada being one of my OG characters, she would have a mighty fine house, my good peoples. Okay. As we enter, you see this behemoth table right here that I kind of forgot to add chairs in, now that I'm thinking about it, all these years later. This house is about 2 years old now. Come on back here, you know what I mean? Little reading area. You know what I mean? Got the bookshelf. Okay, you come back here, we got, you know what I mean, plans and arts and stuff. Little writings. Calligraphy, if you will. You know what I mean? That's a window. What? Let me open up the window, man. I can't open up the window. I think I got something too close. Okay, you come over here. Got these real clean shelves. Everything in this home matches beautifully. Got the little plates. The lining could be a little better, but they are there. Good little snacks and treats. Teas and whatnot. Got the open cooking pit. Good, heated, delicioso food. An imitation crab meat. That's probably more like Wagyu, you know what I mean? She ain't gonna have no fucking imitation crab meat, okay? She got, what is it, A5 Wagyu or something like that? She's Japanese. She gotta have, she got the best good eats, okay? Got the wall joints. This is the house you guys always see whenever I do Black Desert videos, when I the Big Money Sell Day videos, because they all happen in this house all the time. You know what I mean? Real special looking lantern. Got the music box on top of the pillow. You know what I mean? I don't know why I put it on the pillow, actually. Or is that normally like that? Let me see. I actually don't know if that's always like that or if I did that. Let me see. Oh, no. Okay, that's normally like that. It's real fancy in here. Deep dark wood floors to match the dark walls. Some more artsy type stuff. You know what I mean? She's an artsy kind of character, okay? So I left all the artsy stuff on her. And then you see my usual favorite photos. There's only so many photos you can buy in the game. So you tend to see the same ones pretty often. There's only so many. You buy them all from the same vendor. It's a real fancy little house, man. Real fancy little house. I'm like, this character, she got, you know, Lons always have a lot of real specialty looking fabrics and type stuff. So I wanted her home to look real fancy, much like all of her outfits, as you can kind of see by the outfit she's wearing now. Real fancy looking, you know what I mean? With the fancy heels. Even the undergarment is fancy. I'm about to say, I ain't gonna really show you that though, but I mean, let's keep it 100 here. Half my dang characters on Warcraft is half naked. What would be the difference? So even the undergarments is fancy. You know what I'm saying? And they're saying that like Big Head, who we recorded multiple Warcraft videos on now, doesn't have a fucking a little mini skirt on that got a little booty out. But anyways, let's move on over to one known as T. Martin, my chef character. This is who I do all the cooking on. So real quick, a lot of my characters have tasks. Okay, my main character, that's my main character. Everything is sold on her. She's the banker. She's the bigwig. This lady, this is the water lady. I farm a lot of water on her. This is how my characters get to drink. Okay? She might be evil. She might be a warlock. She might be a little crazy. But she's a water lady. This is my rancher. All my horse work goes through that character. And this is my boss character. Every world boss dies to this lady right here. And then this is my chef, Miss T. Martin. Let's go check her home out. Alrighty, folks. We are here on T. Martin. And she doesn't have a house because I forgot. Her house was a cooking spot, and that was before the manor had dropped. So we got to go back to Heidel because her home is now a giant mansion in Heidel. Well, it's all my characters' home. So I was going to show this home off last, but now that I remember, I turned my cooking spot to there. Yeah, she ain't got no house here. That's the house from my other account. So let's head over to the big surprise, the one that I was waiting to show y'all, the manor. And here it is, the last home. When I went out to Calpheon, I'm like, where the heck is her house? I forgot. I did not need her little cooking home no more once we built this massive manor. Now, it's huge, so I'm gonna be showing you quite a bit. All right, so let's go ahead, open that up, and boom. Now, believe it or not, as decorated as this is, this ain't even really done yet. It's not how I fully wanted it to be, but it's not bad. So here's the horse stable. If you want to bring your horse in, make sure you park them on in here. Okay. Got I don't know what the heck this is. Honestly, I ain't been in here in a hot minute. I don't remember this being here, but it's there. So this is the entertainment area. So you got like bookshelves and stuff. It's not quite done yet. As you can see, the bookshelf is empty. You know what I'm saying? You got the grilling area. There ain't no dang food over here. So I never really got around to finishing it. The manor is massive. You have to put a lot in it if you expect to finish it. So there's a little tent, a little cooking pit right. Well, I don't know about little. Cooking pit right there. You know what I mean? And you come around the back side. You got the chill spot here. This is the spot where I have not finished the grass yet. So I was actually talking about this on the Warcraft, one of the Warcraft streams I was doing, where I was telling people that the grass looks dense from downward, but then when you look upward, not so much. You got the orange tree, you know what I mean? If you want to go snack some tangerines or whatever the fuck those things are, they're real orange. So I'm guessing some oranges. Tangerines are a little bit more yellow. Okay, you got some flowers and whatnot. So this is going to be really decorated, but I never got around to finish it. It is quite large. I will, though, one of these days. I have a ton of furniture I haven't used. That's really what I've been waiting on, stacking up a bunch of furniture. I have a lot. Big lamps. And back there you got the even bigger lamps. Right? And then you walk on down the way. Beautiful trees. Open that up. And boom. You're inside the oh so gorgeous manor. Let me show you the front room first. Got the music area. I mean, little fish tank in the corner. Cool little Easter lamps on the side here, plus the ones up there. Big, gorgeous decorated lantern. Or I keep saying lantern. Chandelier. That took a lot of money to make. Okay, that took a long time too. Another one of those little desert lamps. Little shelf that I ain't put nothing on quite yet. Little TV, you know what I mean? Another desert lamp. More plants and potteries. Little Christmas area. Gotta have a Christmas area. And now the whole reason her home was destroyed, which by technical wasn't truly her home. It was made for my main character, but then I started using it on her more because I'm like, you know what, I need a chef character. Because at that point, my character was already a fisher. And I didn't want to waste no time cooking and fishing on one character. Especially since they ended up consolidating everyone's skills any dang ways. It worked perfectly in my favor. You got the miniature cooking area. Okay. And you have the big cooking area. This is where she would cook at. Okay. With the big 5,000 stove. As you can see, it was used a little bit until I didn't need cooking anymore. Okay. This is essentially T. Martin's zone right here. This is her spot. Alright. Chefing it up. Big old table. Another pit. Makes a little bit of pottery. There was a little bit more I wanted to do to this place, but not too much more. Mainly to fill up the shelves and whatnot. But I wanted to keep it mostly fairly nice. Another big expensive chandelier. Cost me about 200 mil. You come into the bedroom. Okay. America's. Little snowboarding joints. I was a champion. I was a leading champion in snowboarding 3 times on all 3 maps. That's how I got that. I'm lying, of course. They gave you that for a quest. Little alchemy station. You know what I mean? A little chill area. You could play some fucking... What is this game called? Because I sure enough forgot. We'll just call it soccer or football. Because I don't remember what the table variant is called. Table football, I'm going to call it that. Little dragon statue. You know what I mean? Place is real fancy, real nice, real fancy. You got the room that leads into the bedroom. I was supposed to update these beds, I kind of forgot. As you can see, they're pretty flat. They're also quite old though, so I have much better beds, I just never put them down, kind of forgot. Little music box. Snow globe. Looks like somebody's house is about to get hit with some serious, strange energy. And then another one of those absolutely incredible looking lamps or chandeliers. Black Spirit again. And boom. I never did really finish furnishing this place fully though. Not bad though. It's not bad. You come up to the top. You got another little chill area. There's a little photography area right here. As you can see, we got the lamp for good lighting. Okay. Overview the cherry blossoms. And then boom, my good peoples, that is every dang home I own in Black Desert. Okay, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification bell, show it to people join Legendary playing sports and become legendary. I do all things RPG with a little bit of Black Desert and Skyrim sprinkled in every now and then. I miss the Warcraft part. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and showcase some homes I got on Skyrim, as well as a couple of other things, and I'm gonna get back and record some TBC stuff. For now though, I'm about to eat. I'm hungry. So I'm out. Subscribe.